Eating disorders are common in high school students, though are rarely talked about. I talked to a high school student who recovered from an eating disorder, as well as professionals at recovery care facilities near Frisco. Eating disorders never have just one cause. They're a combination of biological, personal, social, and cultural aspects that all go into the development of an eating disorder.
The social aspects that we have a lot of pressure to be thin, and then also there just might be medical aspects, but it's not going to be necessarily one thing that is going to develop an eating disorder.
When diagnosed with an eating disorder, there are many different routes that one can take in the road to recovery.
If somebody comes and says, I am struggling, starting out with seeing a therapist or an outpatient dietitian is absolutely helpful. High school students are under an insane amount of pressure, which is definitely a trigger for developing an eating disorder.
To a high school student who recovered from an eating disorder to hear more about her journey. We changed her name in order to keep her identity anonymous.
How did you develop your eating disorder? What initially led to it?
I think it kind of started after my grandparents passed away and my sister was going through some stressful times, and it was just like a really hard time in my life. I think it became important to me because it gave me something to control, and it just felt like a stress outlet, kind of.
What led you to finally seeking help?
I didn't seek help. My parents forced me into treatment.
And why did you feel the need to do that for your daughter?
Because it became pretty clear it was not something that we as a family could handle on our own. It's not something that you can say, well, just eat. And we really needed some professionals to help us and guide us with the best way to handle this.
I went to the Children's Hospital of Denver, the eating disorder unit.
And that was better than any of the options nearby at the time?
At the time, yes. It utilized the latest research and how to effectively treat eating disorders. It was very family-based. It's not a place that you could just drop your kid off. Parents had to take nutrition classes and family counseling and individual counseling. It was very multifaceted.
Why do you think it was so important to reach out and get help?
I think it's important because this is deadly, and it's also just really miserable for you and everyone around you to deal with.
This has the highest mortality rate of any mental affliction. I think I recently read that 23 people a day die from complications from eating disorders.
This has been Emma Bittner, Centennial News.